Hello and welcome to another Last Epoch build. My name is Bobo and I would like to thank everyone who likes, comments and subscribe. You guys are awesome and it's really nice to see my little channel growing, so thanks a lot for that. Anyway, today I have for you a Fire Disintegrate build. This is my Fireball Mage build, the Dragon Mage build, and I changed it a little bit, went for Disintegrate just to show you the other options you have for Mage. This one is a different playstyle, but it's a good playstyle also. You burn everything down, you laser things up, you're a Goku on steroids, because you shoot two beams at once, not one. And it's a really fun build. You burn everything. You have some cooldowns to help you out with the damage, and the damage is really nice. My gear is not really that great, so it takes me a little while to kill some mobs. That's the reason, because of the gear. I still have the fireball gear on, so if you gear him up properly, and the affixes for the plus channel damage are really good, so that will increase your damage by a lot. You have cooldowns to help you survive. You have basically you just laser everything. As you see, they're not really giving me any resistance, and again my gear is not good. This build does require two uniques to work best, but you can play it without them, but you really want to get them because they increase your damage by a lot. Finding the last thing to kill. Mana can be a little bit of an issue on this build because you can't regen while channeling. I mean, it's not really a biggie because of the focus. You recharge it pretty quickly. And there we go. Let's get into the build, check it out. Alright, for this build we're running Arcane Ascendance, Teleport, Disintegrate, FlameWard and Focus. For Arcane Ascendancy, we went for more spell damage, we went increased spell damage per second and cast speed per second. We also took haste as a travel point, and we wanted to get, I don't know, I won't even try to pronounce this, but what this does is you no longer drain mana. That effect for spells, it's irrelevant for us. What's important is that it doesn't drain mana. So we just click it and it's active. And it doesn't drain our mana anymore. We're gonna use one spell anyway. We just hit Disintegrate and that's it. Then I'm going for ward gain on start, so we get some ward, help us defense. My last 3 points are gonna keep going in ward to help us get a little bit more defensive. In this build you're pretty mobile because you're stuck there casting Disintegrate, so you need a lot of defensive stuff for yourself. We're taking Teleport, standard Teleport. We're going for the clones, and I went for the increased elemental damage after teleporting to get a little bit more damage for us. And now I'll get the last points in cold and armor for some armor, and the last point will go in some more time for mirror image. For Disintegrate, we went for the twin beam, so 5 points and less damage taken. This will help us survive. 5 points and more damage, and then I went for the two beams because they act independently, so they can both hit the same mob, and it deals a lot more damage. Then I went for fire, so we have a fire Disintegrate build. Disintegrate tier 2 and the tier 3 for more damage. Last 3 points I take a point in range or 2 and a point in upgraded speed. You can see how you like them. It's either upgrade speed faster or range. I'm taking 1 and 2 or 2 and 1, something like that. You decide how you want to spend it. FlameWard, Again, pretty standard FlameWard build. We went for the duration, increased fire damage, less hit taken, less elemental damage taken, and the last points I'm gonna spend in ward granted to have more ward. Again, we need a little bit to be more defensive on this build. Focus, this will help us get our mana back, because Disintegrate, once it starts hitting level 3, you'll see the lasers around it. The mana will disappear pretty instantly. You need a lot more mana than what I have for Disintegrate. Focus, we went for more mana burst. We went haste after we cast it, so we'll have time to escape from enemies if they reach us. Increased mana regeneration per missing mana, so we just want that mana to get up as fast as we can, so we keep going. We took some armor, because again we need to be defensive. 1 point travel in health regeneration, and I'll put the last points in reduced elemental damage taken. Before I go into the talent here, I'll show you the gear. You need these two unique. The Disintegrate deal more damage equal to your spell crit, and the Gambler's Fallacy, which gives you 100% crit. As you see, my spell crit is 445, and that's the amulet. This amulet gives you a lot of crit, so you crit instantly. But the thing is, Disintegrate doesn't hit, so it doesn't consume the crit, and this unique gives us more damage equal to our spell crit, so it buffs our damage by a lot. We have 40k right now. If we remove this, we have 38. I don't think it shows it actually, the crit damage, because if you see here, we're heading for 2k, and when we add the helmet, we're heading for 14, or even more. The smaller numbers are the burn. So yeah, this is a really good combination of items. It helps out a lot. Gear, I have my fireball gear on, so I'll quickly tell you. You need the channel things. So resistances while channeling is good, damage while channeling, adaptive damage while channeling is really good. Spell damage leeches health while channeling, so you want basically damage, adaptive spell damage, and spell damage leeches health. The rest is fire damage and defenses, so you want fire damage and health, endurance, resistances, all that good stuff. For idols, you can go with some more leech, or there's those idols that gives you fire damage if you have over 300 mana. I don't have it. My mana is low, so fire damage, I think it's a box one. Something like this, the increased fire damage double if you have over 300 mana. Those are really good, so get a bunch of fire damage. The more damage you deal, the more you leech, and you'll be better. For talents, I went 20 points in Mage, so I took health and intelligence, and I'm collecting knowledge of destruction because of the crit strike of the offhand. The crit is giving us more damage, so eventually I'll come back and max this to 10 points. Sorcerer, we took 8 points in increased spell damage, more spell damage, intelligence, and mana. Fire damage, eventually I will max this. Fire penetration, fire leech for more leech. The crit is really good. And I took 1 point here for travel, I think, but I'll eventually put more points in. We're not gonna be getting inside because we're not hitting enemies, but the intelligence is nice. Adaptive spell damage, and elemental damage. I'll keep putting my points in elemental damage and resistance, and then fire damage. And you can also go into Spell Blade to get more increased elemental damage and more resistances. So we're getting a lot of elemental resistances from our talents. And yeah, that's the build. It's a really fun build. I hope you guys try it out, and I hope you like it. So thanks for watching again. Please, if you like this, like and subscribe. It really helps me out a ton, and thanks a lot. See you next time.